How did you like the previous chapter? What is your mental state right now? In the last chapter, we are discussing awareness, and I know that we put a big importance on it. But this is really the cornerstone of any personality development. Because, as it has already been mentioned, if you need to improve on something, the first thing you need to do is to know about it. And the same thing is valid in this section. We can read everywhere that 80% of success in trading is psychology. But what does it actually mean? And how can one recognize that his psychology is in check? Well, in this section, we will talk about one big part of traders' psychology, which is personality. I bet that you have already encountered this word. We even commonly use it in our daily lives. Sometimes you can hear things like, our personalities just don't go well together, or she has a strong personality. Okay, so what is this telling us? It means that everyone has their own idea of what personality is, which is absolutely okay. In psychology, we call this an implicit theory of personality. But we won't overwhelm you throughout this course with too many definitions, don't worry. If we say it in a very, very simple way, we can say that everyone has their own inner psychologist, which helps you understand and explain the behavior of others. Since everyone has their own way of explaining other people, it's difficult to talk about personality if we don't have the same system for it. And that's why in this next chapter, we will introduce to you one theory of personality we all can use. But don't worry, it's very easy to grasp and use. Okay, so let's get into it. Maybe you are wondering, why are we going to talk about personality? Or how is it connected with trading? Imagine that I give one strategy to 10 traders and let them trade this strategy for 1 month and then see the results. What do you think the results would be? Will everyone have the same results? Or do you think that we would see different results? If you were thinking of seeing very different results, then you were right. Most probably we would see different results. So how is it possible that we will see different reactions to winning streaks? That one trader would be consistent with applying the rules, while another one would derail from the strategy after the first loss, and he would take random trades in a revenge streak? The answer lies in personality. Personality is a very complex thing. That's why we have lots of theories about personality in psychology. We have chosen a very simple one, which is easy to understand, as you will see throughout this chapter. So, we use the theory from transactional analysis, short TA. It's a system created by Eric Berne. In this concept, we suppose that we have 3 distinct parts of personality, which we call ego states. They are known as parent, adult, and child. In our lives, we are constantly shifting between these 3 ego states, and I will describe each different ego state. When we are in a parent ego state, we behave, think, and feel in ways copied from our parents or parental figures. These parental figures could be our relatives, such as grandparents, uncles, or aunts, but they can also be non-relatives. For example, our teachers. Basically anyone who had any parental influence on us. And when we are in a parent ego state, we do it quite unconsciously. On the other hand, when you behave, think, and feel as you did when you were a child, we are talking about the child ego state. And same like with the parent ego state, this is also usually an unconscious response. The adult ego state is when we respond to events around us, behaving, thinking, and feeling in the present context, using all of our abilities as a grown-up. Now, how can we show this in practice? Imagine yourself driving a car. You are watching the road, controlling the speed, and looking around carefully because you are approaching the traffic lights. You are fully focusing here and now. You are in your adult ego state. You go through the light, and one car doesn't stop for the red light and almost hits you. Now you are shouting and doing lots of gestures towards the other driver. You have changed your adult ego state to the parent ego state. A few minutes later, you realize that you forgot to do the important task your boss dedicated to you. You start to panic and you are feeling a rush of anxiety in your chest. You start to think of what you will make up as an excuse and hope that his reaction will be okay. You have just switched to the child ego state. So, as you can see, we fluctuate through these ego states easily, and it's completely normal. Similarly, we can't say that there is one ego state better than the other or that there is a good or bad ego state. We need all of these components in our life to be in balance. In order to easily move between the ego states, a certain level of psychological flexibility is required. The transactional model of ego states is developed even further. We can divide parent and child ego states into more components. There is much more in transactional analysis, for example, the transactions, but as we promised, we are not going to overwhelm you with the theory. For the purpose of this course, it's not needed, so we don't go in much detail. Just keep in mind that we have a parent, adult, and child ego state. And when we are in each ego state, we think, behave, and feel differently. Maybe you have noticed that, like in the previous chapter, we are again talking about thinking, feelings, and behavior. That's absolutely correct. Because those are the patterns of personality we can be aware of. And by doing this, we can realize in which ego states are here and now.